to share his thoughts and experiences.
Dr. Mishra, Dr. Mathur, Dr. Appaji, other industry peers and friends. I have an idea, if all of you guys kind of concur with that. When I was in the car, I was told each of us has got 20 minutes. Okay, so I was thinking that I would volunteer cutting down 15 of those minutes. And we try to honor the 4 p.m. hard stop that we have started with, and try to share whatever we have, try to make our message crisper, keep the guys slightly more active on the seats rather than walking out of the auditorium. Yeah. So I also have a sheet of paper with me. So I'm going to open it. This happened because last time when I was speaking, and I love speaking to students. Last time I got this opportunity, and I was sharing the dial with a couple of guys, and then it so happened that all of us had very overlapping points, and I was a number 3 on the list, and I had nothing to speak, and I just drew a blank because my mind wouldn't work to find some new thoughts, and I got a very sorry figure, and then I thought I should put some pointers on the sheet of paper. So you will find me missing eye contact once in a while, looking at my notes, seeing whether I have said all that I intended to say while I stay on the dais. Okay, so a couple of things, rejoinders to what Harish said. He talked about all ideating, innovating and stuff like that. I think one of the things that will be critical if India has to become a global power, if you have to be a part in that, is that execution should be equally good, right? That's where most of us miss the act. We are amazing with academics. We score 9.5 on 10 in terms of grades. We oftentimes forget all that we read the next day. That's another matter. Okay. But the same thing, kind of those habits carry forward in organizations because we don't make habits personal. They're so superficial. They're right on the surface that we never internalize stuff, and these habits come with you in the organization. So you become members of task forces. You do all that you did as part of this Samathi. Okay, this is exactly what companies want you to do. Come up with newer thoughts, be comfortable working in teams, work on each other's strengths, play down others' weaknesses, come up with a winning product. It was so good to see that India map done with the graphics of R. I wish that happens one day, and I find that there are lessons of dollars and euros and more of ours as global currency, but that is only possible if we play to our strengths, if we strengthen our execution, okay, and don't despair. In a sense, one of the things that was talked was China is a superpower. It will kind of go on and on and on and on and on, but some recent studies say that India's biggest strength, which is its population, is actually going to stand us in good stead, at least for the next 30 years, primarily because we are the youngest workforce. Okay, China is going to age. They don't have enough people. Somewhere that one child in the family is going to hit them now. And it's too late to make 2 children. However, having said that, it's in your hands that not to make 2 children, but to make sure that this competitive advantage that our parents and grandparents have given us actually translates into commercial success for the country, which is transcending these boundaries, these global boundaries, these global barriers, bringing in predictability of service. That's when trade happens. Somebody said, that one of the reasons why people don't trade with India is because we show them something and we actually supply them, and this was made into a virtue by making the movie of Badmash Company. How many of you seen that? God, you guys should actually post on a blog that such movies should not be made, because they made India look so cheap. However, that it's not too much of the mark when it comes to textiles. That's one thing I know because I have friends in that industry, and they have found great problems in doing international trade. That's why people go to countries like Bangladesh, countries like Sri Lanka, because there is predictability of output. That's what software industry did pretty early. And I represent one of the IT companies which is in Hyderabad. A mention to those of you who don't know IB student quality. I think they compare with the best in the industry. We actually have been picking guys from here, and they've done excellently well for us in our organization. So kudos to you guys and your facilitators who have made you the product you are. But bringing in that predictability, I think that would be the key, and that's where I think all of you need to focus. And this predictability, in a way, is also linked back to execution capabilities. When I was a kid, I grew up in North India, okay, and the vegetable prices would be seasonal, right? So if it was winter, the potatoes would be cheap. There would be no lady's finger in the market. Cauliflower would be cheap. However, if there was frost in one of the places in Haryana, the price would go up immediately. But that problem was localized to Delhi. It would never be felt by my cousins who stayed in Chennai or Hyderabad. But things changed. Once cold storage happened, when truck movement happened, now a frost in Delhi or a flood in Maharashtra impacts onion prices across the country. That's what global barriers or lack of them create, which is absolute permeability of success and failure across borders. So I guess this would in turn impact businesses, and businesses will impact people. You're going to be part of the organization, so you have to be prepared for that. Which basically means that even if you don't start with a job that exposes you to international business, you don't have escaping the imperative to have a global mindset. I think that's extremely important. So you will need to train yourself to be sensitive, to be educated, to be aware of what is happening in the industry, in the market, right? You would also be seeing a paradox that's happening right now, where businesses are talking of optimization, businesses are talking of moving to geos where they are able to leverage resources the best, maximize returns on investment, and governments across the globe, they are talking protectionism. Right? So we are seeing US, which was the capital of capitalism, the capital of today's commercialism, suddenly talking of creating trade barriers, creating from mega impacted scenarios which will have mega impact to smaller things which seem very cheap. And all these thoughts came to me as we were driving up, right? So I'm just trying to kind of pull that into the discussion. So you have, as managers, you have to contend with these things. You will become stewards of business, either of your own, or you will be key people for other people's businesses. You'll have to contend with these scenarios. You have to be aware that these kind of problems are likely to happen or are happening. Which are the best ways to overcome these? If a particular geo is not profitable, how do you quickly migrate to another geo? Therefore, this need for you to keep your antennae always up in order to pick up data about various places. What's the best place to do a particular thing or to source a particular thing is something that should come naturally to you. So if you want to see a movie, whether you should go to Cinemax, which charges $150, or should you go to Talkie Town, which costs $30, is something that should be at the back of your mind. If getting the best movie at the cheapest rate is a priority. Take that into an organizational context. You will be sourcing managers, you will be selling folks. Suddenly you find that selling into UK is going to become very tough because they're going to clamp restrictive practices on trading, on organizations that are selling into UK. So should you fight that model with the bureaucracy there, or should you look at an alternate geography? These are things that are going to come to you, and these are things that are happening right beyond our nose today. Indian businesses are confronted with these kind of issues. So wherever we have made progress, there we have become the envy of the global community, and people are trying to get level. I might sound a bit scary. It might not be that bad, but if you read newspapers, that's exactly what comes out. So whether it is a higher H1 immigration fee, or whether it is going on surprise audits to sites where H1 professionals are deployed to questioning people who have been there for almost 5-6 years, to a country like UK which thrived on immigration. today saying that they would not want to bring in people from North India, or that they will clamp ceiling on number of immigrant visas that are available to them per year, primarily to answer their own constituencies. So there's a potential conflict going. You are not going to be immediately impacted. There are going to be people who are more impacted who are going to fight this, but as students who have chosen international business, I think these are things that you need to become aware of. Your education journey does not end with the classroom or the case studies that you guys do. It doesn't end with the 2 years that you spend here. I think you have to continuously be on the lookout for data, to assimilate data, to create patterns of information, and be a global citizen, if I may say, in the market, in the industry that you choose to be. The good part is that don't get too industry focused very early in your life. Create a generic skill set for yourself, which will help you migrate across organizations, across industries. I found my profession to be very very apt for that. I started my journey in manufacturing, and today I'm part of the IT industry. Tomorrow I can be anywhere else, because I carry some core skills that answer the requirement of my profession, and then I start learning the tricks of the trade of a particular business, and I marry the two, and I manage to succeed, or contrive to succeed, I should say. Okay? So that's basically it. I wrote a few more points, but I won't bore you any further. I think we made a right choice by being at IPE. Make good the opportunity that you get here. Don't just study for grades. Okay? What did Amir Khan say in 3 Idiots when he's shaving? Huh? Kamya? Correct. Go behind excellence. Success will automatically follow. That's what should be the motto in life. All the very best. Thanks for having me here.